What if I told you that one of Hulk's greatest enemies was once a war hero? And what if I told you that he spent years hunting down the Green Goliath only to end up becoming exactly what he hated the most? Well, my friend, today we're diving into the story of Red Hulk, one of the most brutal and relentless figures in the Marvel Universe. But wait a second, how does a US Army general transform into a raging red monster stronger than ever? Well, sit back, because I'm about to tell you a story filled with betrayal, revenge, and a little touch of cruel irony. It all starts with Thaddeus "Thunderbolt" Ross. This guy was a lieutenant general in the army, extremely patriotic and obsessed with keeping the United States safe. But he had one very specific mission: to take down the Hulk. That's because he was the one overseeing Project Gamma Pulse, an attempt to recreate the famous super soldier serum. But the experiment went horribly wrong, and instead of creating a new Captain America, they ended up turning Bruce Banner into the Hulk. From that moment on, Ross swore he would capture the monster at any cost. But man, what Ross didn't expect was that hunting the Hulk wouldn't be so easy. The Green Giant always managed to escape, and in the middle of all this chaos, another problem arose. Emil Blonsky, a soldier injected with a modified version of the serum, ended up transforming into Abomination, a creature even Ross couldn't control. In the end, he was forced to accept Hulk's help to defeat Blonsky. And guess what? After the battle, Ross was left humiliated. He realized that Hulk was more than just an uncontrollable monster, and maybe, just maybe, he'd been fighting on the wrong side all along. But here's where things get even more interesting. Ross left the army and entered politics. He became the US Secretary of State and played a major role in passing the Sokovia Accords, which aimed to put the Avengers under government control. He clashed with none other than Steve Rogers, Captain America, and was responsible for locking up several heroes. But in the end, the Avengers split apart, and because of that, they failed to stop Thanos from snapping his fingers and wiping out half the universe, including Ross himself. After the blip, when everyone returned, Ross was no longer the same. He was sick, suffering from serious heart problems. Desperate, he struck a deal with a scientist named Samuel Stearns, also known as the Leader, a man who had experimented with gamma radiation before. Stearns promised to save Ross, but at what cost? Ross started taking gamma-laced pills to stabilize his condition. At first, everything seemed fine. But you know the old saying, if you play with fire, you'll get burned. Well, those pills had a brutal side effect. They were turning Ross into something entirely new, something far more dangerous. Then in a moment of extreme political tension, when Ross had already become President of the United States and was leading a global negotiation over adamantium, Stearns decided to take revenge. He activated the dormant gamma radiation in Ross's body, and boom, the general turned into Red Hulk right in front of everyone. Unlike the original Hulk, Red Hulk doesn't get stronger the angrier he gets. But on the other hand, he can absorb radiation and boost his power even further. And here's another crazy detail. When he gets too angry, his body heats up so much that he can melt everything around him. In the middle of the chaos, Red Hulk ended up fighting Captain America, but instead of being physically defeated, he was convinced to surrender. In the end, Ross realized he had crossed a line he could never return from. So he resigned as president and willingly turned himself in to be imprisoned at the raft. And then, after everything that had happened, came the most impactful moment. Ross finally reunited with his daughter Betty Ross, face to face, and it was only there, inside a cell, that he realized that maybe, just maybe, he had spent his whole life fighting the wrong enemy. In the end, Ross spent years trying to eliminate Hulk, only to become one himself. What does fate have in store for him now? Can Red Hulk redeem himself and become a hero? Or is he doomed to remain one of the greatest threats in the Marvel Universe? So, what do you think? Can Red Hulk be redeemed, or has he gone too far? Drop your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more epic stories from the world of comics. See you next time.